Yo, what's up guys, welcome back. So OCG metagame breakdown for November, I guess, November 2023. It has been a while. I think the last time that I did this one was September right before, their ban list, as, they revealed October 1st, right? So the OCG format is pretty much halfway their new format. But the reason why I waited this long is because of Terminal World. It's the new pack, not of the core set, or not a core set in the OCG, but their next core set should be Legacy of Destruction. Yeah, released late January 2024, but as I mentioned before, they recently got their ban list for October 1st, the one you see here on the right, basically, with Rongo, Chaos Ruler, which was a big hit. Two of these Yugioh cards as well being hit. And as you might remember, Tearlament was one of the top 3 decks, has been one of the top decks in the OCG for quite a while, but obviously because of these hits, it faded away. Short set, and Fire took over, and here the results from Road of the King are from early November, as you see, late October, so that's a couple of weeks ago, but couple of decklists as an example, but I wanted to move on for, just the more recent results from this week, and more specific this weekend. So quickly, the results from Road of the King itself. So quickly, I think Rescue Ace is basically the deck to beat, as you just saw. First place, about 17-18% of the decks, but this quickly followed by Fire King, especially with the most recent set being Phantom Nightmare, introducing more tools for fire decks. This definitely makes sense, and Labyrinth is behind third place. So a new tool for Rescue Ace short set is basically a new Snake Eyes Populous. It's a new level 1, I guess, that's searchable off of Bonfire. It can put itself into the Spell and Trap card zone, you can send it to the graveyard, and special summon a level 1 from deck, etc, etc. So it's a huge tool, it's a big tool for the Sinful Spoils package. We will be getting it in the TCG as well when we get Phantom Nightmare, so it's just going to make the engine much better. And quite conveniently, Rescue Ace was hit on the OCG Forbidden and Limited list, but it was just a small hit, right? But Sinful Spoils, super generic. Crazy deck. Double Bonfire, again, a card we should be getting right here in the TCG. And another cool thing is that, and that's also something that Road of the King mentions, is that a new addition to this deck is the new Princess, the Link 3, which quite conveniently definitely helps out all fire decks, being Snake Eyes, Rescue Ace, Salamangreat, for example, and so on. And that's also mentioned here is that people might have to preemptively hit your opponent's Turbulence, like Veiler or Imperm, on that Turbulence. Thing is that the new Princess has the capability to reborn a fire from graveyard, so you could link it away and then potentially reborn it, and with it I mean your Turbulence, and then use its effect because your opponent kind of wasted their Veiler or Imperm preemptively, right? So that's kind of ridiculous if you ask me. So it's just another big tool, not necessarily only for Rescue Ace, but for other fire decks as well. So Fire King, whew, again got more tools, and the featured deck lists. Oh, and this is a particular list I definitely like. The thing here with Fire King is that you could, but I'm not so sure about that. You could definitely run more of a Snake Eyes oriented build to kind of make it so that you could search your small Garonics much more consistent, in a much more consistent way. Yeah, double Super Poly in the main deck. I'm not so sure about that. More Fire King deck lists are ready. But this particular player definitely opted to run only one of the new big Garonixes. I guess it could make sense. Should test that out. Okay, interesting one. At last, Labyrinth. I think the biggest change, I guess, for Labyrinth was, where is it? Oh, it's a new trap. And I believe the card is called, what is it? I hope I pronounce it right. Rumpeltuffle. It's also one of the new cards in Phantom Nightmare. That basically it's graveyard effect, so it's a solid trap that you can discard off of furniture cards. That if you activate it, both players cannot summon that particular monster unless it's from the graveyard. So that's where the new Fire Princess comes into play, potentially reborning the called name from the graveyard. while its graveyard effect, you can banish it from the graveyard, then both players cannot activate the set monster's effect, right? So it's basically a prohibition, and you know, for Labyrinth, having more generic tools to discard, you know, it's solid, right, because of the furniture cards. So short set, that's I guess a new addition from Phantom Nightmare for Labyrinth. So okay, all cool, all fine and dandy, but as mentioned on Word of the King, we might see more drawn on Lockbird, right, in their new and upcoming format. So more deck lists, at least from basically this week and post-terminal world. So the first one that caught my attention was Infernoids. 60 cards, because as you know, they still have grass, looks greener, again mind-boggling, still at 2 in the OCG, save for triple reasoning. And I was looking forward to the potential ratios, but the thing is that they still have grass, so I believe the blue card here is the one that gets an Infernoid from your banished pile back to the hand, plus banish from the graveyard to special summon an Infernoid from hand. I believe it's like that. And I like the ratio of double Deviate and double Onunku, and of course the Sinfoil Spoils package to special summon Decratron, right? So other than that, basically 60 card Infernoids, and both of the fusion only fine as a one-off. Kinda makes sense. So Infernoids, look out for that one. Southern Great also has a new tool, you know, looking at that new Link 4, which again, you know, Sunlight Wolf, Reborn Sunlight Wolf, gives you the potential interruption during their turn, and he is indeed running the Link 4 machine one. You know, the one that, I forgot this name. You know, I mean, you could go for Sunlight Wolf basically another time if you use the Princess as a link material, so it's fine though. But, I mean, Fire got more disruption during her opponent's turn. Centurion kind of is underperforming. We got it in the TCG quite recently. I'm not so sure about Centurion. Bystials in the main deck is cute, but it feels that it's just a Calamity deck. But I really hope that the deck gets more tools in the future to move away from that. That it's not, you know, remembered as a Calamity deck, or as more options at least. More Fire Kings. Very similar to the list that I showed before. Again, I would prefer this particular list over maybe a pure or more Snake Eyes oriented one, right? And that's cool, because of the new Populace, people are making the big Snake Eyes boss monster to potentially get Masquerina in the Spell and Trap card zone, special summon it during your opponent's turn, and then potentially use Masquerina during their turn. So I like those plays. I'm a huge fan of those plays. So intriguing, definitely intriguing. The structure deck, I mean, it's fragile, and I mean, if people know how to play against this deck, I'm not so sure about Red Dragon Archfiend, but it's a fun deck, definitely a fun deck, and you know, it also got more tools, more consistent tools to get to your 1/2 card combos. Ninja also popped up, but it's again one of those decks that could struggle with consistency, even though it's running Dogmatica. Huge fan of Dogmatica and Ninjas, that's nice. Vanquish Souls. This list caught my attention because of the new, well, it's not a new Blackwing, but it's a level 2 tuner Blackwing that has the capability to special summon itself to the field. What is it? If you control a high attack monster, 2000 or more attack, something like that, to potentially go for a synchro summon. Plus you can banish that Blackwing tuner from the graveyard if you have like a Blackwing synchro on field to, I think, pop a card, if I'm not mistaken. So okay, that's cute. It's a dark, if I'm not mistaken, so that's fine, Joe. Another list is a Madolche list, Madolche Horus, that's cute, but also running all the new cards from Phantom Nightmare being the field spell for Horus. So that's okay-ish. Looking forward to that one as well. I kind of, you know, could make Horus much more consistent, right? Much more reliant. Or much more, yeah, just consistent, right? And this, the last two decks, the two elephants in the room. The first one caught my attention. It finally tops, or is stopping, this weekend. Ice Barriers, and I've never tested this deck, at least the new, I know what the new cards do, and one of the biggest reasons, I guess, for this particular result is the new Ice Barrier Synchro, that, you know, has the capability to interrupt multiple times during your opponent's turn, Book of Moon effect. I should give this deck a try. It seems fun, it really seems fun. Nexi is important, I guess. But yeah, definitely going to give Ice Barriers a try. And then last, Ritual Beasts, 3 lists. The thing about Ritual Beasts is that As you know, Ritual Beast is a deck that can main deck, Shifter, Dimensional Fissure, stuff like that. And if those Floodgates cards are important or super powerful in a particular format, then the deck might do super well. And if you look at the current top tier decks, the graveyard is super important. Rescue Ace, Fire Kings, Labyrinth, yeah, Labyrinth also. So, Salamangreat to some extent. So, Then again, Mexi, yeah, hand traps, Mexi, Nip. People are making more Nips, more draws, and that definitely hurts, or is going to hurt Ritual Beast a lot more if people, are starting to main make those more. So, a couple of different lists here for Ritual Beast. I'm not so sure. I would probably prefer one of the lists that I played here in one of my videos previously, but more so looking at the potential extra deck, where 2 of the 3 lists are main decking more. Obviously, Ulti Kanahawk is an instant 3-off staple, but maybe you could run the other names as well because of Rampengu. And of course, this is only the first weekend, right? So we might see these particular lists getting developed over the course of next week or the week after, right? So Ritual Beast, I'm hyped for Ritual Beast to see how that one is going to, develop itself into their new OCG format. So for me, that's it. All the links to the sources will be in the video description. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave your comment or like. If you enjoyed the video, leave them shout out. Peace.